Hey everybody, welcome back to Over Here We Craft for Money. I'm DJ, and in our beginners back to basics series, today we are talking about heat presses. Now, the first video, if you haven't already seen it, I started sharing with you information about cutter machines. I started with Cricut because it's what I have, it's what I started my small business with, and what I continue to use to this day. So if you haven't checked out that video, please make sure that you do, because it is the first stop in this series that we are in the middle of. Now we're going to move from the cutting machine and we're going to talk a little bit about heat presses. Now we're going to talk about the various heat presses that I personally have used, and I want to show you the difference between them and also show you what else is out there, because I cannot count the coins in your pocket. I can only tell you what I've spent on getting the machines that I have. And while we're in this video, I am going to tell you a funny story about how I actually got my first heat press machine and actually show it to you in this video. So let's jump on in. So bear with me, but you'll see the method to the madness in a moment. So I'm going to start us out with Michael's, because as of the filming of this particular video, we are in the 4th of July 2025 holiday weekend, and everything is on sale everywhere. So Michael's is currently offering 20% off all the regular price items. And if you spend more than $49 online, shipping is free. On Michael's, they are going to have a standard Cricut heat press option for you to consider. So I'm just going to show you a couple of them. The first one that you see right here, it's a 9x9. You guys have seen me use this particular machine when I have been making my satin shoe bags, because it's just kind of easy for me to work with. As you see, regular price was $129 back in the day, but it's now $79. This one is here on clearance. If you are looking for easy plug-in press and go, you might want to start with the Cricut Easy Press. This is the second generation of their Easy Presses. Cricut, as they evolve, they put numbers behind their products. This one has an adjustable heat up to 400 degrees, which when you are doing sublimation, you do need something that can get up to 385 degrees. So this would actually work. So if you are going to be making items like tote bags, this is going to work fine. If you're going to be making tea towels, this is going to work fine. And if your niche is children's apparel, socks and bandanas for pets, this is going to work just fine. It's great for basic t-shirts, and I'm gonna say basic up to maybe a size large, and that might be pushing it, because some of the fluffier size shirts, which is what I wear and above, like the larges and up, you have to press in sections. Can you do it? Of course you can. And if that's what you got to use what you got till you get your money up to get you a bigger, press. But it's absolutely fine to get started. Basic shirts, tote bags, pillows, aprons, and such. It already let us know about the degrees, lets us know that the heat platen is ceramic coated. That means it won't, smudge, and it's easy to clean if you should make a mistake like some of us do sometimes, and maybe you put the screen print upside down, and next thing you know, your screen print on your platen and you got to clean it. So it's very user friendly, easy to learn, simple to use. Okay, now is letting you know that it requires a maximum output of 120 voltage in your outlet. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the voltage capacity wherever you live. All right, so I just wanted you guys to be able to see what that one looks like. I'm going to take us back, and we're going to look at one more Cricut Easy Press before we move on. This is the Cricut Easy Press 3. Remember, I told you every time they evolve, the number changes. So this is the 3, and the difference here is the square footage of press that you get. This is a 12 by 10, okay? And it was a 9 by 9. It's $149. So we're going to go ahead and click on that so that I can show you guys the difference, all right? So you getting a bigger machine, you get more space across the top, right? A 12, which is like that standard. Let me go grab it right here. It's that standard 12 across that we were talking about in the other video, right? So the machine will go across. Again, if you're pressing a 4X shirt, which I sometimes do, I would have to press that in sections just to make sure that I get the right heat. But in these machines, you're going to have an automatic shut off. It heats up quickly. It has the insulated base that, that whatever it's sitting on, it does not burn. And it's showing you all of the things that it can make. That looks like a denim shirt up there at the top, and it's letting you know that it can actually get hot enough in order for you to be able to press on a denim shirt. And they're showing you the degrees and the Fahrenheit. Again, $149 if you get that particular heat press from Michaels. I am going to go over here and just tap on this one just for a quick second, even though this is not the version that I have. But if I was buying something today, I probably would snatch me up one of the little mini easy presses, because sometimes, like when I'm doing my satin shoe bags, I will use my easy press because that's what I have. I'm not going to spend any extra money to go out and buy another device if what I already has works, because again, we are over here to make some money, honey, not spend it all out. But if today was the day and I was starting over from scratch, or goodness forbid that one decided to stop working and I had to start over from scratch, I probably would get me the little mini press just to have that. And I don't know that I would buy an easy press again. I've gone to bigger machines, as you guys have saw in my videos if you've been to my channel before. So I wouldn't start with an easy press, even though it's easy and portable. Now, if I was going to do a pop-up shop, then it might not be a bad idea to have that, because I might be able to press on site for people. But the time when I went to pop-up shops, when time permitted, I didn't make my materials on site. I wanted to engage with customers and not be making shirts. But again, I do think that this works really cool when you want to put vinyl like on, for kids, or ribbons or cheer bows, anything that's kind of small and you don't want to heat up a whole big old machine, right? It's really tiny and petite. Look at that. She's so cute. And that's the little cubby that it fits in so that it doesn't burn. An ergonomic handle, and y'all know I suffer with my hands, so that would be ideal for me. 3 heat settings, heats up pretty quickly. And see, you see I'm putting it on the little gym shoe there. I'm from Chicago. We call those gym shoes. Some people call them tennis shoes. We call them gym shoes. Anyway, this is how they're able to put that on those little small pieces, or like the head up in the upper left corner, those little pocket shirts, or even the animal, right? So just wanted you guys to see that one. Again, Michaels has this on sale as of the filming of this video. I'm not somebody that gets stuck in all my colors of my machines, because sometimes, hey, listen, you just got to buy it while it is on sale. They have a Cricut auto press. Now, I didn't even know this was a thing. I had never even seen this. It says it was at one point $800. Like, I don't know, y'all. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. I'm not going to waste your time with us looking at that. But I will go ahead and show you this, because I've been seeing a couple of other content creators use this. So, hey, while you out buying, you want to take advantage of their deals that they've got going on. The Cricut does have a hat press. It is, again, it's on standalone. It is coming in at this weekend. Right now, it's priced at $129. It has the ergonomic handle. It has a start button, the light indicator to let you know it's heat up and ready. This one is cool because it says it is Bluetooth compatible. So that's going to be really good for you. You can attach the app to your phone, and then you can be able to work it from your Bluetooth. What's also cool about this one is it comes with that little pressure ball right there, that little ball with the handle you see. That's where you put your hat, so that your hat can stabilize when you go to press. You put the little ball right here inside the hat, and then that gives it the pressure so that when you press the heat press up against it, you are able to work it. And so that's what is happening right there. That is the presses that you can pop in to Michaels and get. But I wanted to give you all some more choices with this, and also kind of a little bit of a story with you about how I got my first heat press, right? So I had the Easy Press, the first version, first generation, if you will, and, I'm doing my thing. But now I'm realizing, as I'm getting t-shirt orders, the shirt sizes are getting a little larger, and I wanted to start moving into sublimation. And even though the Easy Press can get up to the temperature that I needed it to get up to, I was concerned that I wasn't applying the same amount of pressure all across the shirt. And you really need to keep the pressure consistent when you are sublimating so that you don't get ghosting or you don't get a richer color on one side of your shirt, but then you didn't apply enough pressure on this side. And so now the it doesn't look consistent. So in 2021, I was using the Easy Press and making stuff for friends, and I started getting more requests. So I decided to come over to good old Amazon and I'm going to order myself a heat press. And I think this is the one that I got. Now the price has gone down because I feel like I paid like $199 or something like that. Because then with the shipping, like it was gonna be like $249 or something. But I just knew I was winning, right? So it was a 12 by 15 and it was a 5-in-1. So this machine, I really think this is the one, and the price has just gone down. But this machine was gonna let me make shirts. I was gonna be able to make tumblers, the head press, and it came with pressing platen's plates. Which, to be honest to you, to this day, I still haven't figured out how I was supposed to use that. But anyway, it never showed up, y'all. I paid my little money and it never showed up. So I go to Amazon and I cancel my order. And Amazon refunded me my money because it never showed up. So then I went over to the other website I'm going to show you guys in a minute and ordered another item, right? Next thing I know, y'all, I already got the heat press from Heat Press Nation, and there's a knock on my door. And I look out the window and it was UPS, and they left. And I was like, I didn't order nothing from UPS. Y'all, why when I opened up my door, it was the 5-in-1 heat press that finally made it here. I had already got my money back. And then here is this heat press that shows up at my house. Now I already done ordered my new one. My new one is here, and I'm well into my business orders and everything. And then the 5-in-1 showed up. So I used it for a while. And in full transparency, I reached back out to Amazon and I was like, hey, it showed up. What do I do? And Amazon told me keep it. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Birthday, good luck. I said, okay, so if this ain't gonna keep me out of heaven with the Lord, I'm gonna go on and keep it because you said I can. But y'all, that's how I got my first heat press. I never thought that it was gonna show up. I got my money back, and next thing I know, it showed up. Now, I have moved on from this. Do not get me wrong, it absolutely served me well because the one that I ended up buying did not have all of these attachments to it. And I'm gonna show that in a minute. That's what makes this, in my opinion, a cool heat press machine to consider because it gives you all of the conductors to try a lot of different things in one heat press. Now, especially if you're just getting started and you're not sure what you want to make or how much of something you're gonna make, I wouldn't go out and buy what I ended up buying. I knew what my business was going to be and what it is. And so obviously I have invested more in my heat press machines, and I even upgraded once I started having hand issues to the automatic pop open one, and I'll show you those two in a minute. But these are great starter machines. Now I know other people may feel different and you may have had a bad experience with one if you bought one, but I can tell you for me personally, it served me well. If I was going to start over today, if I was just getting into this game and I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm doing, I would absolutely do a multiple press machine. And I'm going to click on the one that I would do so I could show y'all. I would go with the Viver 8-in-1 heat press machine. It is a 15 by 15, which means I'm going to get a nice big press space to work with. It's a 360 swing away, which means when you open it up, you swing it off to the left or the right. And give you a bunch of attachments. So let's take a look at what you would get if this was the one that you decided to go with. So this get up to the platen heat that we need for shirts, and it has all of these attachments. These three things over here, these are the different variety of conductors that you would attach to this part right here so that you can make the different size cups when you go to sublimate. This is the hat attachment and this is the plate attachment. The drawer slides out so that you can bring it out and replace the platen and then attach the top. And these are all the things that you can make with it. Now, they call it a tumbler press, but I'm going to be honest with you. You probably would be able to do a 15 ounce and an 11-ounce tumbler. And maybe a 16-ounce tumbler. They call that a tumbler press, but honestly, because I had it, I know I could not do my 20-ounce or 30-ounce skinny tumblers there. I would have to press half and then slide it and do it again. And the more you have to press something, the more likely it is that you could make a mistake. So I try not to have, all of her where I can make more of a mistake on something. I try to press it once and be done. So for the price, and Amazon days are coming up. They start on July 8th. For the price of $189, y'all, I'm not going to lie. That's a really great price. And if you got Prime membership, you can get that delivered and again, read your reviews. But now I want to go back to the main page for some of the other heat presses that are available. But I just thought it was so funny. That's how it was meant to be to start my crafting business, because here this free $200 press showed up at my house when I hadn't even sold my first product for me to get started. And because of that blessing, I have just been really fortunate ever since. So let's move on. I want to talk about some other heat presses that are out here. Now, I don't personally have these two that I'm about to show you, but I do want to show you these because I do watch other YouTubers and we all learn from each other. And I've seen several of them using HTV Ront auto press machines. Again, I don't have one. I've never used one, so I can only go by the fact that some of the greats use it and they've not complained. So here, HTV Ront, it is an open. I am all for auto open. There's a 515, so you're going to get a lot of good space to press on, and it can handle sublimation as well as vinyl and the heat projects. This does not come with all those attachments that we previously talked about, but it is a better brand of a heat press machine. It's letting you know that there's quick modes for setup, startup, and heat, which increases your efficiency. Even engineering keeps the platen even and hot on all spaces, and it shuts off after 15 minutes if you ain't used it, which is so great. Because y'all, sometimes you will be working on something and the phone will ring, or you will walk out the room. And if you're like me, you might forget you was in the middle of something. I do it all the time. And thank goodness my heat presses have auto shut-offs because, whoo, honey. But that's another video. Anyway, so wanted you guys to be able to see that. Again, has all the information to let you know what you need to use with it. And the one thing that I would tell you also being mindful of is you got to make sure that you're paying attention to the voltage that it is going to need. Look at your reviews to see what people have to say about it. You want to make sure you can handle the voltage in your wall. Otherwise, you're going to keep hitting your circuits and they're going to keep popping when you're working. Coming over into Amazon, there are a variety of heat presses here, but now I am going to show you the machine that I have. So let's go to our third place of research. And sometimes I might be a bit of an over researcher, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I can be. But it's just because, every shirt that I make, every cup that I make, I work hard. I reduce that stuff. So that means I'm very careful with money. And I want to make sure that I'm getting the best for whatever little bit of money I have to be able to spend. And so that's what brings me to the third place that you want to consider checking out for your heat conductor or your heat press. Again, this is where I bought both of my heat presses from, the two you see me working all the time with. So I will start with my very first one. All right, so this was the first machine that I got when I bought mine. It was like $7.99. Looks like it was on sale for $6.29. Right now it's currently sold out. But this was 16 by 20. That's the one that's over here in the corner that I use sometimes. And it worked for me, right? It was a good heat press for me. I still use it. I say was like I don't still use it. I absolutely still use it, though I shouldn't be using it sometimes as much as I do because of the pressure that it puts on my hands. But I got it because it was a 16 by 20. It was bigger than the one that ended up showing up. But the benefits of the one that showed up is it had the attachments. This one does not. It's just a straight heat press, but it allows me to press my shirts. I'm able to get my fluffy shirts. It gets up to the temperature that I needed it to get to. But then if you're new to my channel, I ended up having to have surgery because after 4.5, almost 5 years of constantly opening and closing that heat press and my day job work, it gave myself some carpal tunnel and some trigger fingers. That is what made me have to upgrade, and I moved over to the 16 by 24, was because if I was going to start pressing larger sizes and I was going to get an auto open press, I might as well get one that had some of the bells and whistles, right? Because again, if I was going to start over, so I did pay around $1,200 for that machine. It's a 16 by 24. Y'all hear me call her Big Mama back there. I don't know if y'all, am I? Yeah, it goes. Big Mama right there. I love her so much. But she really has taken a lot of pressure off my hands because it's an auto press, that little button there. When I pop that, it pops right open. It has sure pressure, which has been a game changer for me. It came with a little bundle of supplies for me, online stuff to look into, and it also came with a 1-year warranty on it in case anything went wrong with it. It's part of the Signature Pro series. You can always come and read the specifications. But overall, it does not come with the attachments. So even though I don't use the free heat press that I got, I actually have that at a friend's house because with these two machines that I have, the voltage would be too much. And I don't have the space for that third one. Sometimes I miss it when I want to do like that plate thing, but probably have to go to my friend's house who's storing it for me in her garage. And I just started making entirely too many coffee mugs and tumblers to only have that one. So you guys have seen me, just one of my most recent videos. You all saw me use my standalone tumbler press, which lets me do mugs. It lets me do tumblers. I can do glass. I can do mugs. I can do stainless steel skinny tumblers. So I ended up having that as a standalone. And so it was fine for me to give her the attachment heat press. But I wanted you guys to know about the variety of heat press options that are out there. And if you have a great heat press that you're currently using, make sure you drop it down in the comments and link it so that we can go check it out, because what works for me may not work for you. And I don't ever want to presume to count the coins in your pocket. Again, I can only share with you what I personally use and what I have as equipment. I wanted to make sure that if you are about to get started in this, or, you know, hey, if you're day one because your machine conked out and you got to start over, I wanted to share with you some current relevant information that I hope will help you. So I hope you found this video helpful. Next up, we're going to go talk about vinyl quality and the types of vinyl that are going to be out there for you to use in the various projects that we are going to make. Make sure you check out that video because that's what's up next. And if you haven't checked out the first video in which I talk about the pros and cons of the various Cricut cutting machines, then make sure you check out that video too. So until the next video, bye everybody. Moneymakers, I really hope this series is helping you. I hope you will comment and share this video, and make sure you stop back over on Tuesday to check out episode 3, everything you need to know about vinyl.